Okay, so I have another testimony. This is in July of 2002, sent to Brother Steve Isett, and it is from Sandee Rapaport. So I believe you're still with us, Sister Sandy, and I want to visit you. So if you get this video, I hope to visit you soon. Okay, so Sister Sandy wrote in July of 2002, Good morning, Steve. I so appreciated you letting me hear Ron. Please thank the other brothers also. I know that was not easy. I wish there was a way to hear or read what he said in every one of the types. But that may not be, maybe tapes, but that may not be possible. Yet I will begin tonight to write my testimony, and as I said, many others also will write the truth of our experience, and I would like to send it to you to edit. Blessed are you when men speak evil of you for my name's sake. Rejoice, for great is your reward in heaven. So this sister was very much criticized by you, Brother Ron Kingus, mockingly called holy sisters, something like that. So this is her testimony. I continue. Rejoice, for great is your reward in heaven. I am blessed. I have no desire to curse, but to bless. I'm sad for Ron. I do pray for him. I wonder if he feels everyone who left is a cancer or a wart or a fly on the body that must be cut out. I pray God be merciful to him, for he believes he's doing God a service. So we were fully covered by the elders, John Ingalls, Al Knock, Francis Ball, Max Rapaport, and then she has Ann Mailer, Harriet Brady, and I met once a week with these brothers, updating them on everything God was doing. Witness Lee fully gave us full authority for the care and oversight of the women. Witness was like a father to Max, and we loved him. He was with us often, and we with him. He called our home every morning. We were there. Yet, because of Philip and misunderstandings of brothers in the lead who were jealous of Witness bringing us to the forefront and Witness fellowshipping with Max instead of with them, of trouble in the hearts. Oh, with them, trouble in the hearts were being exposed. I'll share more on these things when I write my testimony. Anyway, the midlife conference in 1997, Memorial Day, is when Witness began to come against us. I was shocked, as others, for he made believe we sisters were not covered, and the discrediting began. And of course, who will disbelieve Witness? Witness Lee. That was very difficult to realize. He out and out lied. I prayed much for him and continued to support him. We eventually went to him after weeks of wanting to be quiet and take the cross, yet our spirit gave us no rest regarding the matters. So Max and Harriet and I went to talk to him and shared we felt the Spirit of the Lord was offended at what was said. We were willing to take it, but God rose up, and from that moment nothing was the same. Strange things began to happen. We were told we could not pray together, etc. Then the Spirit within us caused us to know, as in Acts, trouble and precaution awaited us, and much suffering from the hands of ones we loved, from city to city. Anyway, time to go. The kingdom of the heavens, which is God's rule and reign within us, led us forth unto him, bearing his reproach with much prayer for those left, and those who were led out. Much grace and peace to you, Steve. I do believe God has raised you up and then I think it gets cut off there. Okay, so then July 8th, 2002, no, July 14th, 2002. Steve, a name was put upon us by Philip after Max talked to Witness Lee, regarding Philip's conduct in the living stream. Then he confronted Philip himself. Max confronted Philip himself, and from then all hell broke out, and we were labeled the Holy Sisters. That was never what we spoke or ever inferred regarding ourselves. Philip said Witness wanted all of us sisters to work in the living stream. So I gathered them together and shared the request, but as I always did, I shared they needed to seek the Lord for themselves to see if that is what the Lord wanted. Um, Whosoever felt to go should go. Those who did not feel to should follow the Lord. I myself never felt to work in the living stream. Many did. I really believed we were to follow the Lord because of my conversion being so strong to Christ, that I was to follow the Lamb wheresoever he was going. I wanted to know him, not a religious system. I was not under the law, but I was released to learn Christ, to seek him, to inquire of him. My heart was not rebellious. I many times tried to go along with things requested, but found it many times impossible for me. If the Lord graced me to do it, I could. Okay, so then, let's see. Steve, I'm so sorry that I'm not good at this computer. This is July 13th, 2002. I'm so sorry that I'm not good at this computer and I don't read back over to correct my errors, but I guess you're getting what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm also sorry for expecting you to remember all our conversations about this. You have had a lot of input regarding the turning point in the middle age conference in, it was 1977. I think I said 97 before, but this was the middle age conference in 1977. Witness, without calling any of us in to talk, prepared and did video on that conference. Maybe you could find it and watch it. Max was in Chicago speaking there. The young people were in Berkeley at their conference, and it was a wild Memorial Weekend for all. Witness enacted a drama or agenda which surprised all. He led people to believe that what we sisters were doing was uncovered, but again, it was the spirit of all that was said that incited 1/3 of the saints to stand up and hiss, yes, hiss at us. I was very shocked that I was hearing him lie and discredit us, but much grace came upon me, and I stood to apologize to whosoever was offended, and we would make a stand with him in this new turn. When we left the meeting hall, we, all the brothers and sisters connected to us, wept and prayed for Witness Lee. I must say, even before all these meetings started, as we were in prayer about them, weeping was occurring, and we didn't understand why at that time till the meeting began. Everyone was confused on what was happening. Witness said we were not to sit next to each other. We were not to meet. We were not allowed to pray. Everyone was freaked out. Brothers called Max in Chicago and let him know what happened. He returned, and there was a different spirit there from that time till we left a year later. There was so much conflict in me because we were so close to Witness and respected his age in the Lord and experience. As I tried to obey this new word, God spoke to me and rebuked me, saying, "You have always followed me. Why are you trying to follow a man?" So we all seemed to feel the same way. We went to Witness 2 weeks later and shared with him in love that we felt that we felt he wounded the Spirit of the Lord regarding these matters, and we all were wounded, maybe, and expression of the words he ministered. We truly were experiencing and building a building not made with human hands, that this was God's doing, and it was marvelous in our eyes. We tried to go along with him, but God was speaking something else to us. Time went on. It was very difficult to go to meetings. Many began to come less and less. We continued and never talked about leaving. We thought we would be there forever. It wasn't until the last Lord's Table meeting would I realize it was our last time we would ever be there. Yet strange things and not much fellowship was happening. Spies were sent out to watch us. Things we spoke in meetings that were very weird. People began to ask if we were permitted to play sports, what stations on TV we could watch, all behavior things. And saints were so afraid of Witness Lee. He intimated that if anyone left, they would die, and fear became the hold. And after we left, I was told by Al Clark that they had 24-hour teams praying for us. And now that he had come out, along with John Ingalls and Al Nock and that group, 10 years later, he realized it was witchcraft praying against all of us. And when someone left who was found out to be ill, they were thrilled that God was vindicating them and judging all of us. It was a very strange time. Max said as we left the hall, not to ever return, the following. The elders always met in the morning, and Max and others received $300 a week. The Lord told him not to pick it up. I guess maybe not to pick up support. He received $300 a week. The Lord told him not to pick it up. He would take care of us. And sure enough, $300 came in the mail from an unknown source from up north. And you have to realize no brothers or witnesses came to Max before all this happened. Then saints began to defect all over the place. And if anyone would talk to us, they would be poisoned. They were not allowed back into meetings. Saints would get up for the restroom and leave if any of us came in to eat. They never spoke or said hi. It was a very cruel way of dealing with people. But inside, let's see, we tried to talk to the elders to help me understand why they were what they were doing and why they were saying horrible things, why no one would talk to me. I even called John Ingalls, and his reply was, God would never lead someone out of the church. But you see what you are really in, you see man's hand and work, not the Spirit of the Lord. More later, Sandee. And then I think that's all that, oh no, she has more. Witness had sent out a proclamation to all the churches. If anyone was unhappy in their locality, they were released to come to Anaheim without permission from their elders of that locality. It was called a year of Jubilee. This is when we all moved to Anaheim with Witness. So we prayed and all felt to start spending time one-on-one with those the Lord put on our hearts. Brothers with brothers, sisters with sisters. We had around 300 sisters move to Anaheim from all over. The flow also was on relatedness to others in the church, how we needed to be built up with others. For example, he said in the human body, every organ is attached to a joint of supply. If you're alone, without ones close to you to fellowship with, he said you are not built in yet. This was not new to me, for I always sensed the need from day one to experience the Lord, to pray and ask to be drawn to whom the Lord wanted me to be in fellowship with in that city. You touch many people and love them, but it's God who joins spirits and hearts together for his present call on your life. Even that is in different degrees according to God's choosing. In Matthew, Jesus said the gates of hell would not prevail against the builded church. No one was asked to come into the building. There was never human choosing, but through much prayer and ministry, God himself joined people together. Sisters and wives came to us pouring out all the mistreatment they were experiencing in different localities that had crushed their spirit, oppressed and depressed them. They could never get it out, or they would be humiliated and considered rebellious or a bad sister. We allowed them to get out their grievances, and we were able to love them, accept them, pray with and for them, lead them to seek Jesus, that they would know him in intimate ways, and to pray for those they were to be related to or already were related to, and to come together for prayer and fellowship. The whole heart of the matter was to bring everyone into real fellowship and prayer for the church in Anaheim. We encouraged each sister that had a problem with another to pray and be led of the Lord to a time they could go and heal up breaches between each other. From Matthew, if you are offended with your brothers, go to him or her. God blessed his word in action, and offenses were healed up, more and more gathered together, because the Spirit of the Lord was upon his word to see it performed. It was an awesome move of the Lord upon all of us who were in the reality of the experience together. Never was there anything negative spoken against Witness or the elders there. We were bathed in the Word daily, in prayer and in fellowship, and in a rich enjoyment of our precious Lord, fully supporting the church in Anaheim. I could go on and on about this. Max asked me to gather the sisters I was related to, Anne, the one she was related to, Harriet, the one she was related to, and we all came together and prayed and fellowshiped every week with brothers, and they were doing the same thing with brothers. We were never rebellious, not one of them that I was aware of. But when that middle-aged conference on Memorial Day of 1977 occurred, that's when the discrediting began publicly. I have already shared regarding that with you. The Spirit and the brothers and sisters grieved, and that brought forth God sovereignly calling out saints. I myself, when you were led out 1 year later, went to all those I knew and asked them personally why each brother or sister left. Each one said God had led them out unto himself and felt something was not right in the local churches. So you see, it's very involved. Sandee, that's all I have time for now. But oh yes, I would like you to duplicate the type and send it. Okay, so it has an address. Okay. Thank you for listening. That was Sister Sandee Rapaport, and God bless you, sister. Thank you.